You know that long weekend sleep in you think is helping your teenager recover from a tough week? Well, here's a surprising fact. It might actually be making their Monday morning feel a whole lot worse.
So, how on earth can more sleep be a bad thing? It's a fantastic question, and we're going to get right into it. Welcome to Sleepedia, a corner of the internet dedicated to the science of sleep and circadian rhythms. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden biological forces that are running your teenager's sleep schedule.
First up, we need to talk about something that essentially turns your teen's weekend into a biological time machine. It's a concept scientists call social jet lag.
So, this slide probably looks really familiar to a lot of you. During the school week, it's a brutal 6 a.m. wake up call, probably running on 6 hours of sleep if they're lucky. Then, bam, the weekend hits. They crash, sleeping in until maybe 2 in the afternoon and staying up till 3 a.m. It feels like they're catching up on sleep, but their body is actually going through something else entirely. And that something else is social jet lag. That's the scientific term for this wild swing in their schedule. And here's the crucial thing to understand. This isn't just about feeling tired. This is a real, measurable conflict between their internal body clock and the rigid demands of the outside world, like school. And this is maybe the best way to think about it. Every Friday night, your teen's body is basically forced onto a flight from New York to California. Then every Sunday night, it has to take a brutal red-eye flight right back, just in time for that Monday morning alarm. This constant resetting just wreaks havoc on their entire system. So why does this happen? Well, it's not what you might think. It's not just bad habits or, typical teenage rebellion. Nope. There is a powerful, non-negotiable biological reason their brains are wired to be on a completely different schedule.
It all comes down to a hormone called melatonin. You can think of it as the brain's go-to-sleep signal. During puberty, the release of that signal gets delayed by 2 to 3 hours. So while a little kid's brain might be getting sleepy around 9 p.m., a teenager's brain doesn't even start getting that memo until 11 p.m. or even later.
This really puts it all in perspective, right? For a teenager, 10 p.m. feels the same way 4 in the afternoon feels to a fully grown adult. Their body is literally in a state of high alert. They are not trying to be difficult. Their biology is just screaming, "I'm wide awake." So what happens when we force that wide-awake biology to wake up to a 6 a.m. alarm clock? Well, we end up performing what sleep scientists call a REM-ectomy. Yeah, because the most crucial brain-building REM sleep is concentrated in those last few hours of the night. That early alarm is, in effect, surgically removing a vital brain function. And as you can imagine, that surgery has a very steep price. So let's break down the real, tangible costs, both to their emotions and their ability to think, of waking a teenager up before their brain is actually ready. You see, one of REM sleep's most important jobs is to act like your brain's own personal overnight therapist. It takes the emotional experiences of the day and kind of strips away the intense feelings. This way, you can remember what happened without reliving the hurt. But when a teen loses that morning REM sleep, that minor embarrassment in the hallway isn't just filed away as a memory. It feels like a fresh, raw trauma every single time they think about it. And get this. The data from brain scans is just stunning. In a sleep-deprived teen, the amygdala, that's the brain's emotional gas pedal, can become up to 60% more reactive, especially to negative stuff. Their brain is physically primed to overreact. Think of it this way. The emotional gas pedal is jammed to the floor, but the prefrontal cortex, the logical part of the brain that's supposed to be the brakes, is completely offline. Without REM sleep acting as the mechanic to service that connection, they're going through their day with basically no emotional control. That morning grumpiness, it's not a mood, It's a neurological state.
And the cost to their learning is just as bad. So many teens stay up late studying, thinking they're being productive. But by cutting off that REM sleep, they are sabotaging the very learning they're trying so hard to achieve. Sure, they might cram a fact for a test, but they lose the ability to connect ideas and solve problems creatively. As the source material says, it's like they're trying to fill a leaky bucket. But it's not just about REM sleep. The other half of the story happens in deep, non-REM sleep. This is when the brain becomes a kind of master gardener, literally sculpting the mind they're going to use for the rest of their lives. So think of it like this. As a teen learns and experiences new things all day, their brain just sprouts thousands and thousands of new neural connections. It's this incredible explosion of growth that creates a dense, wild, and kind of messy garden in their head. Then deep sleep comes in, and the gardener gets to work. It's an amazing process called synaptic pruning. It meticulously goes through and snips away all the weak or unnecessary connections, while at the same time, it strengthens the important ones, making them way more efficient. This is literally how the brain transforms from the flexible mind of a child to the powerful, specialized mind of an adult. So what happens if a teen doesn't get enough of this deep sleep gardening time? Well, the pruning just doesn't happen. The garden stays messy and overgrown, and the result is a brain that is literally noisier, which makes it incredibly difficult to focus, to filter out distractions, and to solve complex problems. When you put all of this together, it leads to a really crucial shift in thinking. We have to stop looking at teenage sleep as just a behavior problem or a matter of discipline and start seeing it for what it truly is, a fundamental pillar of their health. And that absolutely includes their physical health. You see, sleep deprivation completely throws the hormones that regulate hunger out of whack. The levels of leptin, the hormone that says, hey, I'm full, they just plummet. Meanwhile, ghrelin, the hormone that screams, I'm starving, its levels spike through the roof. This is exactly why a tired teen craves high-calorie junk food. Their brain is desperately screaming for a quick energy fix. So when you really look at the whole picture, you realize that protecting a teenager's sleep isn't about coddling them. It's about letting the gardener prune the brain, letting the mechanic fix the emotional breaks, and making sure their brain has the time it needs to build itself into a healthy, resilient adult mind.